This might get weird.
Y'all, it's my birthday and I'll fuck up the audio if I want to. Oh, Lord. If you're a patron, you know that last week I had some problem with my recording equipment and we had to use my Zoom audio. Well, guess what? Second time's a charm, or hopefully charming, because my audio fucked up again. But it is my birthday and I have had some travel stress and I love you and hopefully you love me too. So please forgive me. I will sound more professional next week. We can hope. All right. Bye. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart. Happy day after your birthday when this goes up.
When this goes up, I will be 37 and 1 day.
Whoa. Okay, wait. Hold on. See if you can hear this.
Okay. Oh, I'm anticipating it. I cannot hear that. I have no idea what's happening. You just started bopping around and I couldn't hear it. We're off to a great start.
Great start. I was playing you the song of the century, JoJo Siwa's It's Time to Celebrate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The chanteuse of the high pony. Wait, I just saw, didn't she just like announce that she's official with someone?
She's official with a partner. I don't know who this partner is, but people.
When I saw a pic, it looked like a dude TikToker kind of style.
That makes sense. I spent like 20 minutes this morning trying to look up celebrities singing happy birthday, and there's nothing good.
Really?
I did stumble on Shaq rapping happy birthday to Kanye West in his car as he's driving down the highway.
That seems safe.
Yeah, everything about it was a little off. But
I do feel like, and we'll get back to my birthday, don't you worry. I do feel like Shaq should explore rapping again. Like, didn't he come out with an album? I mean, I know he dabbled in acting, of course, but I believe he also had some rap tunes.
He had Shaq Diesel was the name of his album in 1993. And then in 1996, You Can't Stop the Rain. And then Shaq.
Really? But yeah. R-E-I-G-N?
R-E-I-G-N.
That's what I figured.
Shaq Fu, Da Return, 1994.
Oh, Da Return.
He's got so many albums.
So yeah, see, he has more albums than he had radio play, but which has got to be a weird thing because he like kept going, and it's like he wasn't the king of basketball. He was one of the kings of basketball, but like I guess just rapped for the love of it, because I don't think that made him $1.
He's got 4 studio albums, 2 soundtrack albums, 2 compilation albums, and 1 unreleased album.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this guy does it all.
Well, maybe he should stop hawking Gold Bond and printer ink.
Yeah.
So hard and start rapping again.
Maybe he should.
Ask me.
I did look up like how many things has Shaq represented or been the spokesperson for the other week. And I found this one article from like the years ago, and it said that he endorses over 50 products.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel weird when I do like more than one brand deal a year. Not that I'm offered anymore, but I do contemplate it.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? He does have an unreleased sugar-free, gluten-free vodka called Love Shack, L-U-V, that, apparently was very exciting and then never got released. So
that would be what I drink exclusively.
I know. Same. Yeah. That I'm like
it's gluten-free and sugar-free vodka.
Yeah. Called Love Shack, L-U-V. So,
I wonder if he got...
Still time.
I wonder if there was a court battle between him and the B-52s. Because first of all, like they might own trademarks of Love Shack in like any form, any way you spell it, if it's pronounced. I don't know how trademarks work. Nope. And second, I want to see that web series. I want to see a court battle between Shaq and the B-52s, please.
I want to see the 4-part Netflix docuseries covering every angle of it. I would love that. Love Shaq. Yeah. So busy guy, a really busy guy. And I'm glad that we're celebrating Shaq on the day of your birth.
Of course you should. I mean, well, for people who are watching it on YouTube, I'm wearing a caftan. I'm at my friend's house. And because I had to come to New York to pick up beans because my NC trip got cut short all the adventures we will have lost. But I decided today, I was like, I'm just going to go in a birthday caftan, not a stitch of makeup, and be like, this is 37.
Yeah, you are really channeling an essence right now, and I love it.
Yes, I definitely look like I can read your tarot, even though you can. But it's a vibe. But yeah, I'm officially what a 20-year-old me thought was basically a corpse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fucking old now. No offense to the listeners who are older than that.
It is wild. I will say something that might put you in a great mood is that the other day on BuzzFeed, I saw a list of like quizzes and things, and one article was, do you remember these 2010 YouTubers quiz? And you were on the quiz. Yeah.
Wait, but you were on the quiz.
Yeah, you're on it. I'm on it. Hannah's on it.
There we go.
And so I felt
nostalgia,
honored and old.
Well, the thing is that I want to say, when the quiz is coming out about like, do you remember these old school OG YouTubers? I want to be like, bitch, I was already 27.
Yeah.
I was already what is now considered too old to be doing it when I was doing it 10 years ago.
You were breaking molds from the very beginning.
I was moldy, all right. Yeah. I was moldy.
How have you been?
I'm good. I mean, this has been a whirlwind. You and I have chatted. Like, I'm going back to LA to do like a gig to pay, some bills.
Yeah.
But it sucks because my trip, I was supposed to be in North Carolina like almost 3 more weeks.
Wow.
And all of a sudden it was like, you have to come back 2 weeks early. And then right before that, it was like, actually, we need you here in like 5 days because of COVID regulations and like, all that jazz. So I just had to fix everything, get everything in order really quickly. But then also, Beans has been in New York with my ex, and Beans was going to be driven down by my friend whose house I'm at right now for a birthday weekend or birthday week. So I had to fly to New York to get her. Like, it doesn't. She has an escort. She has a human escort.
Oh man, I mean, planes, trains, and automobiles for this little lady. But I mean, that's a good dog mom. You are.
I don't use that phrase.
Dog mom.
We're roommates.
Oh, yes, that's right. Your roommates and your roommate said if she passes, you will get clones of her. And that's the way it is.
Hold on 1 second. You keep vamping wild.
Yeah. Where is she? Oh, yeah. I mean, are we waiting for her to be pulled out of oh my God.
Yes. I know you guys who are listening can't see her. I'll try to maybe rub her tongue on the mic. Didn't work.
That's an ASMR.
She's back in my arms. I love her. As stinky as ever. It's so weird to watch her walk around New York City.
Does it feel like she feels comfortable? Does she feel like a different Beans? Does she feel a little bit more like assertive and a little bit more like cold?
Yeah, she's definitely cold. She'll like walk 2 blocks and look at me, and it's gorgeous today. It's like shorts weather. She's still like, not enough. What it does is I just watch her walk, and all I think is, I just want to pick you up and wash your feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because dogs are walking around barefoot in New York City, and then Chip is going to laugh at me because Chip is always like, her feet are always gross. You should always wash her feet. She should not sleep in bed with us. But especially in New York, I'm like, okay, I just watched you walk through half a block of like pigeon diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
You are walking through a variety of mysterious liquids, and
it's so nasty.
Right, and then you put her on your lap, and what do you do?
And then I laugh. Give me all them kisses. So anyway,
she freak out when you guys reunited?
I actually didn't get the greeting I wanted.
Wow.
She was very exciting once we got inside, but we had a handoff at night, and I was wearing, as the listeners of this podcast will call, my Curious George hat. God forbid you go out on a limb in your 37th rotation of the earth and try a yellow mustardy wide-brimmed hat.
No. They're going to cartoonify you no matter what you wear. I cannot wait to hear how they describe today's look.
Oh my God, forget it. They're going to be like, oh, don't eat that ham sandwich, Mama Cass. I'm full hippie. But so it was at night. And so first of all, Beans isn't a hats fan anyway. I was wearing a hat. It was at night. It was dark. And she was just like excited to go on a walk.
Right. Oh yeah. Be careful.
But so once we got inside, it was all good. But I was just like, I look like a creepy person that like is buying you off the black market.
Yeah. I look like the thing that you should avoid here in New York City.
Yeah. It's like, I just sold my monkey named George.
Yeah.
And now I want this tiny hairless
dog. Have we talked through what that cartoon was really about?
Well, I mean, George is the monkey, right?
Right. George is curious. George is the
Okay.
one that's curious, but I'm more curious why the man in the yellow hat, didn't he also have a full yellow suit? I thought
I'm not sure. I thought he worked at a zoo or something.
Oh, even so, I don't know if that's like regular attire for a zoo employee, but
I don't know. The whole thing felt like it was perpetuating wild animals as pets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we won't even get to the fact of Carol Baskin on Dancing with the Stars.
A lot of people wanted us to comment on that. And
I haven't watched it. I just know that their first dance was Eye of the Tiger. And it's like, that's not even on the nose. That's punching someone in the nose. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, this is like, you can't even like parody it because it's just so cringy.
It's so cringe, but I never really read Curious George, so I don't know what's up. I will say, and I know many people have, that I loved Amelia Bedelia, but I think she had like problems.
Okay.
And shouldn't have been watching kids.
Okay.
It was not all there.
See, I don't know Amelia Bedelia at all. I guess that
I loved her.
That was out of my zeitgeist growing up. I never heard. I guess maybe I heard of the name. It's one of the
what were your like kids' books series that you liked?
The Berenstain Bears.
Right, which that's an internet K-hole to fall into.
Yeah, the Mandela effect of that or whatever it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else did I read as a kid? I guess just like Shel Silverstein books a lot, like The Giving Tree and stuff like that. But that's also,
that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah. And it goes to like, I didn't read very much growing up.
Well, I mean, you had books you just saw and you got rid of. Like you just like went through them when you were like, I need to learn how to do this skill.
Yeah.
That apparently we all need.
Yeah.
But now,
Harold and the Purple Crayon was my favorite book.
I never read that one.
I still have it. It's wonderful. Little boy named
you
Harold.
have it like from childhood?
I have not the exact one from childhood. I don't think it's from childhood. But I do have a copy of it because I loved it very much. It's just like a little boy with a purple crayon goes around and draws all these little environments that he lives in. I don't know what the moral of the story is. I think it's like chase your creativity or something. But it's also like, where are his parents the whole time? Because it's just
I liked interactive books where like Hungry Caterpillar. I was like, that bitch be hungry.
Yeah.
Like you could stick your finger just through a hole. And to me, that was just like, do you see this over here? This is dinner and a show.
Totally. That reminds me, because when I was younger, my parents were divorced. So like every Wednesday we would go for a couple hours and hang out with my dad, and he would take us to like the mall or to the bookstore. And every time I went to the bookstore, I just looked for the books that came with accessories. I would buy like the book about like a girl and her horse, but it's like a locket comes with it with like a horse on it. And I was like, I would like this book, Father. And he's like, to
that
read
was $25.
So you want a necklace is what you're telling me. I was like, no.
Absolutely. I remember I had a book. I feel like it was Babysitter's Club themed, but it could have just been like girls themed. That
a group of girls do some stuff.
But it was talking about like chainmail, and I remember it had like envelopes glued to the pages, and you could take letters. It was like reading within reading. I was also I was a slut for a Klutz book. Do you remember the brand Klutz?
Oh, maybe.
I was sluts for a klutz, they used to call me.
I thought the Klutzes were like a character on Rugrats or something.
No, these were the books that were in a special part, like a rotating thing where they had an activity with them. So it would be like, it would be like or like a cookbook, but it attached to the spiral of the book, there was like measuring spoons. I had one that was like just two big sticky hands that you would like learn how to like, you could do like tricks with this, like pick up a card from across the room. I loved activity books.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember the little kiosk rotating thing that had all those books on them. Those were great.
Because a book fair day, forget it. Like if you would have tested my heart rate on book fair day, like they would have been like you are on cocaine, ma'am, and you need to walk back to your house. I would just be like, I would go in there like supermarket sweep.
Yeah.
Like, I have got $5
and
or $10. But I know I need a Clifford the Big Red Dog eraser pencil topper.
Yes.
That's a fucking must.
Oh my God. Yeah. How do you
losing
budget?
my mind.
Yeah.
Losing my mind. Yes.
Oh gosh. Just teaching capitalism to kids so early on.
Truly.
Love it.
I know. And not being like, you're a good student, so you get 10 fake dollars. It'd be like, no, truly, your parents have to give you money.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The school needs some finances right now.
Oh my God.
If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, lately I've been all up in my feels. But I mean feels like F-E-A-L-S, my favorite new CBD. CBD from Feels will keep your head clear and help you feel your best. CBD is proven to greatly reduce anxiety, pain, sleeplessness, and I don't know about you, but those three things are something that I've been really rocking the last 6 months or so. No idea why. Navigating the world of CBD can be complicated, but at Feels, they make the process as simple as possible so you can start feeling better sooner. And if you're new to CBD, they offer a free CBD hotline to help guide you through this discovery process. And then if you find out you really do love CBD from Feels, there is a hassle-free membership program guaranteed to help you feel your best month after month or your money back. It is that simple. Here's how it works too. All you gotta do is place a few drops of Feels under your tongue and then feel the difference within minutes. You're gonna be chill as hell, y'all. I sometimes put it in my hot tea before I go to bed to drift into slumberland, and it feels good when I wake up. I'm so sorry for all the puns. It works naturally to help you feel better. There isn't a high, there's no hangover, there's no addiction. It's not to get fucked up, it's just to feel fucking great. Since Feels has me feeling my best every day and it can help you too, become a member and go to feels.com/TMGW and you get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/TMGW to become a member and get 50% off automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/TMGW. Get to feeling.
During these economically turbulent times, everyone is looking for a way to feel more financially secure. So if you're still needlessly throwing money every month at a high-interest credit card debt, it's time you checked out Upstart, the revolutionary online lending platform that knows you're more than just a credit score. Now is the time to find out how low your Upstart rate can be to help pay off high-interest credit card debt. Unlike other lenders, Upstart can reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. You don't need a degree or diploma to apply. And Upstart lets you skip going to the bank because it's completely online. They offer loans from $1,000 to $50,000 so you can consolidate your debt in one easy fixed payment. Upstart makes it fast and simple to check your rate since it's just a soft pull. It won't affect your credit score. The hard pull happens if you accept your rate and proceed with your application. The best part, if the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or to meet their financial goals. So free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt and get back to using your money your way with Upstart. See why Upstart has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/TMGW to find out how low your Upstart rate can be. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. Again, that's upstart.com/TMGW. How is New York? New York's good though? I mean, I know you're only there for like weird. A blink.
Yeah, I'm not like going anywhere. Yeah. But it is crazy to see how they've just built out outdoor dining to everything.
That makes sense.
But so I was like, well, it's kind of romantic. And Megan was like, she was like, I know when you like, because she's in the East Village and it's very cute and it's all like independent. It's not chain stuff. Yeah. But so she was like, I know at like first glance it's cute because people put up string lights and it's like, oh, how European. Everything's al fresco. She was like, but the other night we were finally like, let's go get a beer and sit outside somewhere. We have not had a drink outside of our house in a million years. Yeah. Let's actually go do it. This will be fun. She goes, we got our beers, we sat down, and I immediately saw like 3 rats in a trash can, like 2 feet away from me. Oh. And she looks at her boyfriend and goes, if Mamrie was here, she would already be down the block and we would have to just settle up the tab without her. I'm like, you're right. I don't think I could get over the idea of let's just hang out here for an hour where if you stand still, you're going to see a rat.
Yeah, I mean, because that's assumed in New York, pandemic aside, that they're everywhere and they're out.
Yeah.
But I guess
and now they're like, you guys all eat outside.
Right.
Fuck
you brought
yeah.
it to us. Yeah, you're in our place right now with all your food. Yeah, I wonder it's good that you're only there for a second then, because that seems
I started
like
getting in my head. I started really getting in my head about it. And it's like, no friggin' thanks. I did have, speaking of getting older, a moment about a week and a half ago where I felt so old.
What happened?
I'm sorry if we're like triggering people who are older than us.
No, I know. We're allowed to feel our feelings, and it's okay. And we're allowed because 10 years ago we were saying this and we were fools. And so now it's a little bit more earned.
We're allowed to feel old. I'm allowed to say I want to get in better shape, and I'm allowed to call a vulva a vagina. Everyone get off my dick. I do what I want. But okay, so I think I told you it was when my 2 camp friends came to visit with her family. And we were hanging out on the front porch doing like if we're all going to be in the same room, let's be outside kind of thing. And been tested before, et cetera, et cetera. But so we're out there and we decided to do kind of a drunk brunch, and we got very drunk.
Yeah, you really did it. You committed.
We tied it on. Like we were just like champagne bottles, like they were Poland Spring water bottles, you know?
Love it. Mm-hmm.
Cheap champagne. But so anyway, it's to the point where like, we're all just like drunk and high laughing. Yeah. My friend Haley has got on a caftan, not too different from this. She started to do, all of a sudden she comes out, she goes, Mamrie, let's have a villain makeup off. And I was like, no, I feel pretty right now. And she had one eye done like Ursula. And so she just left the one eye. She had taken twigs, like little, like, you know, I don't know, little clovers from the yard and done a crown. So she's sitting there in like a caftan, one Ursula eye and a crown. And it's a few of us and we're all just drunk as a skunk singing, right?
Love it. Also, I mean, that's a great idea for people out there that want a little like spice to their friend hangout. A villain makeup off. Great idea.
Yeah, but she started before I agreed to it.
Yeah, she already competed and was asking you to join.
I was like, first of all, I've already seen your work.
Yeah, I now don't have an objective way to do this.
Right. Like I know how hard in the paint literally you're going.
Yes.
So I don't want to use 19 makeup wipes tonight. And like my entire thing of eyeliner. So anyway, she looked like a fucking crazy person. And we're sitting out there, and I don't know if I told you because I didn't want to talk about it on a podcast while I was still in North Carolina.
Okay.
But I lived on this dead end, and I told you about the dog across the street with the owner who would like just use a remote control car to walk his dog up and down the street. Yes. And at night they'd have lights on them, and I just see a light chasing a light. Great. Anyway, the house directly across the street was clearly like juniors in college.
Okay.
Like they were girls. They all looked very cool. Yeah. They like, you know, had like cool hairdos, and they would put a hammock out in the morning and like smoke a joint. And like, it was a vibe where I was like, these are cool Asheville 21-year-olds.
Yeah. They're like, they have a genre of TikTok that they look at specifically every day.
Yeah. Gen Z, they would call me a boomer, you know? Yeah. But because it's girls of a certain age, I was like, there's a 0.001% chance they know who I am.
Oh, true.
And so I never like engaged or said hi, even though I hung out on the porch all the time. I was never like, oh, hi, what's up? My name's Mamrie. I'm going to be here for a couple months. Yeah. Just on the tiniest chance that they knew who I was. And I was like, I don't want to cross that threshold and then be like, they're watching me, whatever it is. I know this is like, I should be so lucky, right?
It is a true paranoia. Like that's fair.
The tiniest.
Like YouTube aside, I don't have that in me to go introduce myself to neighbors. So
see, I didn't want. In my head, I was like, I know these girls probably think I'm very standoffish, but I haven't said hi more than like a head nod. I haven't done anything, but whatever. Like it's what it is. So then I'm out there hanging out with my friends, and then all the girls like. 3 cars pull in. They're all like Subarus and shit, you know, Asheville. So they're all pulling in, and Haley and they're like, ooh, they look cool, whatever. And I go, guys, I know this is so stupid, but just don't engage. Like I just haven't. So just don't engage, you know? And I sound crazy. And Who knows what I'm wearing at this point?
I know this seems like the joke of millennials being afraid of Gen Z.
Yeah. I was just nervous anyway, right?
Don't engage
with them. So I go, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then all of a sudden I go inside to like get another bottle of champagne, come out, and they're like, yeah, what's up? They're talking to each other. And I was like, oh, fucker. So then I just kind of hang out. So cut to 15 minutes later, we're just chilling on the porch. The fourth girl pulls up, hasn't even been home, but clearly got a call.
Yeah.
Pulls up and just says, you're Mamrie Hart. That's baller. And I was like, oh my God. But of course, my like North Carolina friends, they're not used to this. So they were just like, yeah, she is. Oh, yeah. Oh, just you like got her right.
Ursula makeup falling off their face.
Full Ursula. And so I was just like, oh my God, you motherfuckers. I said, don't say hi. You say hi. And then someone literally is telling me my name. So I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun being me. So anyway, like tip my hat, tip my Curious George hat. So then we're chilling there, we're hanging out, we're drinking, and then all of a sudden, 5 girls that live there, all cool, look like literally a Euphoria ad.
Yeah.
Are holding this gorgeous magnum of beer and start walking towards the house in like a full Mighty Ducks V,
like a presentation,
go, you deserve a drink. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm like yelling at my friends. They're like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, that's not the point.
Yeah. He's like, I don't really know what the point is at this point.
I don't know what the point is, except that I'm living here another month. And like, now these girls are going to watch my movie, just whatever. I'm not being cocky. I'm just like, I would do that.
Totally.
I would never do that. If I was like living in my college town and I was like, I used to watch you on so-and-so. You're my fucking neighbor for 2 months.
Yeah. This is crazy.
So they come over and they're like, you deserve a drink. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are so sweet. They're like standing in the yard, keeping distance as one does. And they're giving me this wine and this Magnum. And I had just happened to like grab a bunch of beer from that local brewery for the weekend. Yeah. And I was like, no, you're not, you're in college. You're not giving me that beautiful thing of beer. I have the same exact, like almost the same exact bottle in my fridge. I'll go get that. So I come out, I pour them each like a few sips of beer, the bottle between 5. We like hand them off socially and do like a social distance cheers and drink. And I talk to them for a few minutes and like one of them's going to school for film. One of them's this. And I'm just like, oh God, you guys are so cool. Trying to be cool. And then they go, we're going to our friend Mordecai's party. Do you want to come? I was like, the fact that they're going to Mordecai's party is incredible. And I was like, what? And I was like, what, why the birthday? Is it is it their birthday? Yeah. And then one of them goes like, oh my God, she asked up front. She asked her. like they were so impressed. Yeah. It was a girl who had like the thing, just the bridge of her nose pierced, like between her eyes.
God.
And then she's like, yeah, we're going to Mordecai's party, like, and points at one of the girls. It's like, she's spinning. And I was like, well, y'all be safe. There's a pandemic. Like, they're like, it's outside. Like, whatever. Like, I didn't want to mob them too hard.
Yeah.
But my friend Haley, with her one ass eye painted, is like, oh, I DJ. What do you DJ on? And then the girls like says some things.
What doesn't Haley do at this point?
I know. No, she like DJ and MCs weddings.
That's amazing.
The girl's like, oh, I do it on these 2 programs. Haley's like, oh, I do it on so-and-so. And I look at the girl and I go, is that like the Facebook of DJ equipment? She goes, well, I mean, it's kind of an older person equipment. Just like, anyway, it was killing me. I was like, trust me, if there wasn't a pandemic, I would be at Mordecai's party fucking fast. And then it was so funny. Then they're so sweetly at the end go, do you need us to get you weed? And I said, do you see us? Do you have eyes?
Have you looked at anything that's happening in front of you right now?
Do you have eyes? We are women in our late 30s giving villain makeovers on the front porch. So it was a very sweet interaction. We just waved and said hi a few times. But then 2 days ago when I was leaving, I Instagram storied I'd have to leave early, whatever. And I'm assuming one of them saw it.
Yeah.
Because I come home right before I'm about to leave and there's a gift bag on my porch.
Oh.
One of the girls has a business. It's called like Boozy Candles. She had taken the beer Magnum I split with them, like surgically cut off the top and poured a gorgeous candle out of it. and was like, it was so nice to meet you. You and your friends are beautiful. Like, this really made my summer. Like, and I was, and like made this gorgeous artisanal candle out of that beer bottle. Isn't that so fucking nice?
That is, I am a little malfunctioned on that because that's like the coolest and most hilarious, like, if there was a version of Portlandia for like the millennial Gen Z interaction, like it feels like this. Also, that's like what my nerd introvert self imagines like the cool girls in college are like. So I'm just like I'm nervous on your behalf just hearing this story. I'm very insecure about it. I'm like, they're so cool, and they watched us on YouTube. That's
I know,
so
and they
wild.
grew up to be like cool and have hobbies and go to film school and go to Mordecai's party where they DJ. But I was just very much like, I don't know if I've ever truly interacted with Gen Z this much.
I know.
Because I was like, every single thing is making me feel like I have osteoporosis just by talking to you.
I know. I can't keep up with the amount of ridiculous things that happened in that story. And also, it's a doozy. It still does ignite my insecurity about being seen as a loser by Gen Z constantly.
Truly.
So it's cool to know that they're doing cool things and that they have respect for you.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of feeling old, have you been watching Pen 15? The second season came out.
I have not. No.
Oh my God.
Is it great?
It's so good. It's so great. And you know, my bestie Melissa does all the costuming.
Yeah.
But last night I watched an episode and it made me wonder what yours were like too. They did the episode where you go to a slumber party and then the girl's like, guess what? We're not going to sleep tonight. And like that feeling of like, oh, fuck. Like, tomorrow's ruined.
Oh,
like,
yeah, totally. Or that you're like, what are we going to get into? Now we all have to like be cool and stand our ground and say yes to whatever is presented in this situation.
Yeah, when you're like, we're going to be bored at 3 a.m.
I know.
We're going to be bored and cranky and all want to go to sleep. But like, yeah, we'll see the sunrise. It sounds really great.
There's only so many truths and dares that we can do before we're all like, yes, you're just making shit up now.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I will lick that. Like, what do you...
Yeah.
We've called all of the cute boys. Like, now they're asleep. They're asleep.
I know. They keep saying they're not answering anymore. I used to do gymnastics, and like a couple of the girls from gymnastics, we would have sleepovers, and it's like we would sleep on the trampoline in the backyard.
I've done that.
Super fun. But then I remember like waking up covered in sweat because it's all the dew from the morning that we didn't think through. So like all of us stop. Elliot's mooning me again outside my window.
Okay, you guys who
he's on his way
aren't patrons, we did a bonus podcast for Patreon a few days ago, and I'm gonna say 30% of it, your boyfriend's butt was out mooning us.
Yeah, he's where I record is right in front of a window that's to our front gate, and he's headed out, and so he just likes to say goodbye in a very specific way now, which is very fun.
Is it a moon where you just get the butt, or does he smush it against the window?
He's far away, so I can only see over some shrubs, like the top of the crack. So he's committing. Yeah,
I thought like
it's
he
like
was walking over.
Of butt crack.
I thought he was like walking over, spreading his butt cheeks, kissing the window with his anus.
No, not that far. It's physically impossible from this window height, but I figure he'll find a way. We've been watching Lord of the Rings. We've been going back and watching those movies.
Yes, I saw you laughing really, really hard, and I couldn't tell.
They are insane.
Because it's like a long-haired wizardy guy. I couldn't tell if that was a Harry Potter I hadn't seen or Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings, and of course, Elliot says that Chip messaged me immediately, goes, first time watching? And no,
I'm dating such a hot dork.
I know, it's really cute.
Love you, Chip.
No, we've been watching them. We just finished the Two Towers last night, and I forgot so much about these movies.
Well, there's a lot. To absorb.
And I don't know, I'll be honest, if these hobbits can do it. I don't know if they can get that ring to the place it's supposed to go.
Well, we'll talk offline, but remember when there was a hobbit who...
Sorry,
one of the actors... Is his butt out again?
No, he got a gritty hat and he put it on. So
perfect.
Now he's done. Okay.
You're like Elliot, podcasts or audio? We can't see you. You're kind of ruining this.
Well,
Just kidding.
We're at that like day 3 of not having done like anything significant. And so we're like, we should get out this afternoon and go do something, because both of us are just like staring at each other being like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What have we done? So just so people don't have blue balls about this story. Very vague page 6 fashion. Remember, there was a Hobbit who tried like kind of go out with me. Remember, I thought we were casually texting, and then he was like, what do you know? I was like, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna get some mezcal. I love mezcal. We had texted for 5 minutes in our entire life. And he goes, well, when can I drink some mezcal off your body? And I went, what? Never. Like no one to play that card, dude. Not on, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Can I do that? Like, it was so.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that.
I just like stopped communication. I was so wigged out.
Well, now I can't wait to watch the 3rd installment and really see it from a different point of view.
Totally.
We deserve better than having to choose between either cheap disposable razors or overpriced brands. We don't want that razor burn, but I also don't need it burning through my wallet just so I can have a nice, clean, shaven, get your mind out of the gutter. Well, thankfully, I found the Athena Club razor. The Athena Club razor is expertly designed with the sharpest patented blades on the market. These one-of-a-kind blades are enhanced with a revolutionary water-activated serum that has shea butter and hyaluronic acid for a skin-soothing shave with maximum hydration. In fact, Athena Club razor is the only razor designed with hyaluronic acid. So, get ready to be on the cutting edge of razor technology. Dare I say it? I said it. Also, they have the Cloud Shave Foam, which is fantastic shaving cream, and the Dewy Body Lotion, so you can get the closest, smoothest shave without any of the burn. Plus, the best part is, the razor kit, it's $9, and that includes 2 5-blade razor heads, your choice of a razor handle color, and a magnetic holder for easy storage. I get new blades shipped regularly, so I never run out. You are welcome, Chip. Plus, it doesn't stop at incredible razors. They also have all kinds of incredible period care, body care, even a probiotic and multivitamin. And every product is vegan and cruelty-free. So if you would like to stop using razors that under-deliver and instead get your razors delivered, try Athena Club. Sign up today and you'll get 20% off your first order. Just go to athenaclub.com and use promo code WEIRD. That's athenaclub.com with promo code WEIRD for 20% off.
Oh, but with Lord of the Rings, in the same vein of like going to a slumber party and then being like, oh, we're staying up all night. This is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I remember once in college, we had nothing to do. It was like shitty weather, and me and my roommate Kirby went over to our guy friend's place, who was also our pot dealer. That was in the same apartment like complex as us. So like we could just walk over there in like sweatpants. And we were like, what are you guys going to do today? They were like, we're going to eat some pot brownies and watch all 3 Lord of the Rings, because it was the trilogy.
That's a 9-hour commitment.
And I was like, that sounds great. And I ate a pot brownie and we sat down, and it's the longest night. It's the longest day of my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, for some reason I was like too proud to leave.
Well, marijuana aside, that's a 9-hour commitment. And for me, marijuana makes time move like 1/3 of the pace that it normally does. So
that's how mushrooms are for me.
Yeah, you were there for 3 weeks.
I was truly like by the 3rd movie, I was like, have I been dropped from all my classes? How long have we been here? Like, am I even a student? Did I get fired? Like, how long have we been here?
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember my freshman year. I think it was like the first week of freshman year. And I'm so not a movie watcher. And I was like trying to make friends with people. And I remember like these 2 kids on our floor were like going up and down and asking people if they wanted to come and watch a movie. And we all went to their room to watch a movie, but it was like the dork floor because we're all there on scholarship. And so I think we watched The Matrix, I want to say.
Oof. In a crowded dorm room?
With like a bunch of dudes that like were super in love with it. And I remember I was on one of their beanbag chairs that was something was wrong with it. And it was so uncomfortable. But I was like too shy to like ask or say anything. So I just sat in this like completely uncomfortable thing watching The Matrix. But I don't remember a thing from The Matrix.
That was your Matrix.
I kept willing my body to circulate my blood correctly from where I was sitting. So I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about that movie.
Well, also, let me just say, and maybe it's because it came out when I was like 14 or something like that. Well, first of all, I love the special effects. And I've told you before, we saw that the summer The Matrix came out. Me and my stepmom were so inspired. We took Taekwondo that summer.
Yeah, it has that effect, I guess.
We took Taekwondo.
It was either
we were like,
that or get a leather trench coat.
And it was too hot in LA for the leather trench coat.
Yeah.
So we took Taekwondo, and I remember the teacher, the only thing he knew about North Carolina was that Dawson's Creek was filmed there. So he just called me Dawson's Creek.
Perfect association.
But we took it, and we took it, and I remember we were fine. It was fun, you know. Yeah. We were like the only real adults.
Yeah.
And then we went to the beach the day before our last class, and I got so sunburnt that like I had to show up for like the last day where you break the wood, you know, the presentation of the yellow belt.
Oh.
And I was a lobster in a white gi. And he was like, Dawson's Creek, did you not SPF? I was like, I did not, sir.
I did not, sir.
So it's like every time I did a little punch with a little like, it was just hurt so bad.
So painful.
But then everyone broke their wood, which is like a piece of matzah. You know what I mean? Like it's easy
like
to break.
balsa wood or something.
Yeah, but everyone did it, and then I was really nervous, and so I kept being like, oh, no, I'll go next. Like, you know, and it was all like, you got to visualize it. My stepmom, who's, you know, now a minister, was like, visualize it, and I was just like, oh, I'm nervous. But what I didn't bring into effect is that we were running over. So then the fucking class of blue belts came in, and so now I have like 20 actual almost black belts watching me do it, and I couldn't do it. And I couldn't do it twice, and I was like holding back tears, and they were like, just ice your hand for a minute and then come. So then I had to come back and do it like during their class. It was
and it's also, there's something really sad.
I was like 14 years old.
Yeah, and watching someone covered in sunburn, like, you know, there's something that you just look so vulnerable and sad that you're like, I can't help you and you can't help you, and you're clearly not bred for like survival. Really, if we're
where it's just these people being like, who is this little beet red teenager taking Taekwondo with her mom? Whose nickname is Dawson's Creek. It was so bad. But anyway, all that to say, I didn't get The Matrix either.
I love that.
Like so many people are like, oh, well, but all the deep-rooted philosophies that mirror the hero's journey. And I'm like, I don't remember anything but that back bend.
I know. I want to watch it now as an adult and see if I understand it, because that's what I'm getting with the Lord of the Rings thing is one, lots of hairstyles, lots of long hair. Lots of cloaks, lots of a lot of beautiful flowing manes.
Is Liv Tyler in that one?
She is. She talks weird. Also, Gandalf.
Elf. She's an elf.
She's an elf. Gandalf runs like he's got a tampon falling out the whole time. So, I know.
That is a visual I've never heard described like that.
I couldn't get it out of my head when I saw him, because he runs like this, like kind of side to side, and he does an amazing job because he's the Ian McKellen, is that who I think it is, and he's an older actor, so he's keeping up with all of them and like doing stunts, but it just got me so good, and I couldn't get it out of my head, so I just kept laughing so hard every time they had to run across the screen. Ugh.
I didn't even realize he ran in it.
He does a lot, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really just didn't like the my precious guy.
Yeah, the Smeagol guy, Smeagol Gollum, is a hard thing to look at sometimes. So there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's where these are my notes for this week's episode, by the way, is just that the Sizzler went bankrupt.
Wait, like the chain?
Yeah.
Well, it is a it's a buffet. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's decent priced steaks.
There's a Sizzler in my neighborhood. I'm wondering what's going to go there instead.
They're struggling.
Because I had this conversation yesterday with Megan and her boyfriend, because they're vegetarians. And they were talking about like, oh, the perfect road trip night. We had, back whenever ago, we had our Hampton Inn, but beside it was a Ruby Tuesdays. So then salad bar. But now adios. So then I was like, dang. Ruby Tues was only good to me because of that salad bar.
Yep.
Now that that's out of the picture, I don't want your shitty entrees. No. Sorry, Ruby Tues. You'll never sponsor us.
No, thank you. I'm okay without the sponsor. But yeah, that's happening. The only other thing, speaking of tampons, is that I sneezed while putting a tampon in the other day. That is the craziest experience I've had in a while.
Wait, where were we at?
We were in a safe place.
In insertion.
We were
not physically.
Oh.
I mean, like, was it
the bathroom?
Were you pushing in?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like a NASA shuttle launch. Because of the sneeze, the whole body convulsed, and it did the work for me. But it was.
Wow, I thought it might shoot it out, because I've definitely like peed a little on a sneeze. So I figure it would shoot out the tampon as opposed to clinch it.
It happened so fast. I don't know the actual like science or physics behind it, but it was like sneezing while driving. Like, it was a very dangerous experience that I do not wish to repeat anytime soon.
Oh my God. This might be TMI, but you know what? I'm 37.
Hey, you're allowed.
I'm allowed in general. I'm just a loud person.
You've been honored by the kids as someone that deserves a beer, so deserves a drink. So you've that's like being knighted.
Yes, totally. Thank you. I'll burn the candle as I reflect. But I remember, I don't know if you remember, but like I remember the first time I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna use a tampon. Yeah. It was like the week after the first time I got fingered.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, I know good and well something can get up there now. Like, for a fact. Yeah. For a fact, I know it's possible. I'll try a tampon. But I didn't even understand you like insert the cardboard and then push it up. Yeah. I just like kind of like put it at the entrance and tried to push it. And it hurt so bad. I had my like leg on the counter. It hurt so bad. I called my sister in, and we're not those sisters. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "It hurt." She was like, "That is not how you do it. You don't put dry ass absorbent cotton and just shove it.
Force it." But I mean, that's to be expected. There weren't great directions, and there weren't. It was a bit of like a finger trap, basically.
Yeah, you don't know what to do. I mean, like when you're growing up and they teach you stuff, they're basically like pads. And you're like, okay, until
this is my practice. This is like putting training wheels on.
Oh my God. So TMI, but it made me laugh so hard thinking about me like just legs spread with a tampon hanging out of me going, I think I did it wrong. I think I did it wrong.
And it's the most vulnerable thing ever, especially because
it looks like I was like a mouse was trying to crawl into me.
I know. Like, it's like you look like you're now becoming some weird birthday balloon that you're like, so this thing just hangs out of me and I'm supposed to be okay with that walking around the rest of the day.
So yeah, exactly. I just look like anyone is gonna. Well, there was always those horror stories in the back of YM that was like, most embarrassing story. I went to the pool and someone thought it was a loose string. Forget it.
I know.
Anyway, too gross. Let's change the subject before we go, just because I don't want to end us on that gross of a note. Here's one.
Yeah, go for it.
It's kind of pure.
Okay.
I've always hated the limbo.
The game.
Yeah.
Okay. Or just that in between when someone doesn't give you a full answer yet.
That's just me being philosophical after we talked about the Matrix. Yeah. No, I was riding in the car the other day and I couldn't figure out the whole time I borrowed my friend's car. I didn't have the right aux cord and it was like old enough. I couldn't Bluetooth it.
Yeah.
So I listened to the radio and I'd be seeing it through and it was like, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. The candlestick. And I was like, man, I am just remembering when I was younger. This is a very nostalgic episode we have. When I was younger, then being like, okay, kids, time to limbo. And me being like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that game come to be? I'm sure there's a big explanation somewhere on the internet about it.
It's just a broom.
Yeah, like, that you have to go backwards under, and then like adults either got really into it or like really seriously hurt trying.
Yeah. Oh, there was always one dad that like then was icing his back.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then there's always like one secret aunt that's like really good at it and does.
And you're like, Tammy.
Wow. Have you been?
You're experienced at being on your back.
Yeah.
No, I always hated it because I was like, I didn't hit my growth spurt till high school. So I was kind of small and I danced and I'm just have to win. So I would really damage myself. Yeah. I would be doing like a full split.
Yep.
With like my feet on their sides.
And everyone's just like, you don't have to do this.
I was like, I do. They're like, but like clearly the 4-year-old is gonna win. I'm like, not that bitch, not that bitch.
Right. Or it's like the grandmother who's like 86th birthday it is. Everyone's trying to get her to win. And Mamrie just comes in hot.
I'm like just like a spider. I'm 1 inch hovering off the floor.
I couldn't break that board in California, but I'm gonna fucking bend backwards to make this work.
Just fully like, we think you're doing permanent damage to your young body.
Yeah. See, all those games, like what's the chair one? Why am I
musical chairs? That is a disaster.
Those games bring out the worst in people. And I think that there should be like a preface before all those games being like, the results of this do not matter for anyone. This does not change anyone's lives. No. So let's be reasonable here.
I love it. It's the opposite of being like, hey, kids, here's what we're going to teach you, like safety and sharing. Yeah, and then it's like, get out of my chair. Oh, but when you were doing musical chairs, like, I don't know if you experienced this. This is the drawstring literally of this episode. It's just like, I don't know if you did this. And then I say something insane. But when you were playing musical chairs, I know my objective was, when this ends, I'm going to accidentally sit in the lap of the kid I like. You're like, that one's mine, Scotty. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Hey, I didn't know you were already sitting there.
Totally. Yeah, no, that game I feel like brought out a lot of viciousness in people, and it made me very uncomfortable. So I feel like I tried to get past just the first round to prove I wasn't a total loser, and then I was like,
kind of just let it go. Oh, darn.
Not for me. I'll just be an observer. You guys go nuts. Yeah.
No, I was throwing bitches off chairs. I bet. Sit on a lap for 1 second. Oh, boy, I had a crush on.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, how are you spending the rest of your birthday?
Let's see. I think I'll finish getting ready.
Okay. There you go. Take your time.
Definitely kicked my friend out of her apartment for an hour because I was like, I can't have anyone in here listening. I'll have all of the listeners here 24 hours later, but like, you cannot be in the next room.
I know. I don't want Elliot anywhere near me, even though I'm saying very private things about his ass being shown in my face to 100 people.
I think I'm kind of just chilling. We'll probably, I'm not trying to hang out in restaurants in general or with the idea that Ratatouille is at any glance.
Yeah.
So probably she just moved into an apartment which has an amazing kind of, it's not a roof deck. What it is, she's on the 2nd floor, but there's a bar underneath that like is longer than the building.
Cool.
So she has basically a huge patio, which is
rare,
incredible. So I think we're just going to sit out there and have some cocktails and I'm going to love on this dog too hard.
You got time to make up lost time.
Lots of it. What are you going to do the rest of the day?
Oh, that's an excellent
Lord
question.
of the Rings?
I'm going to basically spend the rest of the day prepping to watch Lord of the Rings later today. What do we have? A lot of some just general work, general nonsense, general looking out over Los Angeles and wondering. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
But Mamrie, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Who knew that it'd be spent like this? You're making the best of it.
Well, I think it did get weird for sure this time.
Yep.